Okay, and what we want to do now in this question is again just expand our examples, I suppose, to a case where that there are three goods. And don't forget the exact same rules apply. Okay, the exact same rules apply. So before I kind of explain how to do it, I'm just going to have a quick read through the question, ask you to pause the video then, and then we'll go through the answer, and I'll do another two after that. So I'm going to be doing questions 4, 5, and 6. So again, these are the marginal utilities that the consumer receives for each unit of good X in this column, each unit of good Y in this column, and each unit of good Z in this column. 10 euros the price of good X, 20 euros the price of good Y, and 40 euro is the price of good Z. So just looking at these without the price, you'd say, oh, he's just pretty much going to choose mostly good Z, because at least at the start the marginal utilities are way higher. But you have to understand what you're doing here. It's about value for money. It's about utility per euro spent on it, in this case marginal utility per euro spent. And because, let's say, the price of good Z is 4 times the price of good X, well, you better get at least 4 times the marginal utility of good Z that you do of good X, because here for good Z, when you're buying it, you have to spend 4 times the amount as you do on each unit of good X. So have a look at that, pause the video now, have a go at that question, then press play when you're ready. Okay, well, hopefully you've had a chance to have a go at the video, or at the question even. So now we're going to go through the answer. So like all of these things here, what we are trying to say is you will spend your money, you will maximize, the consumer will maximize their total happiness, their total utility, if they spend their money in such a way that the marginal utility divided by the price is the same for all goods consumed. So what we've done here is like in the other video, we've taken each of the marginal utilities and divide them by the price. So these are all the marginal utilities for each good of good X. So the first good of good X, the second good of good X, the third good of good X, and the fourth good of good X. And we've divided them by the prices. So we have a ratio here, 5. That's 5 utils per euro spent, 3 utils per euro spent, 2 utils per euro spent, and 1 util per euro spent for good X. And I won't go through them all, but likewise, so the first unit of good Y gives you 60 utils of marginal utility. The second unit of good Y gives you 40 utils of marginal utility. The third unit of good Y gives you 30 utils of marginal utility. And the fourth unit of good Y gives you 10 utils of marginal utility. And what we've done here is divided each of those marginal utilities by their price. And the price doesn't change. So here for the first unit of good Y, we get 3 utils per euro spent. Now I'm just going to talk about these two. So obviously the first unit of good X gives you more utils per euro than the first unit of good Y. So if you're only choosing between these two, you are not going to choose good Y, because you get more marginal utils per euro spent on the first good of good X than you do on the first unit of good Y. And likewise here, the marginal utility of the first unit, I should say, probably of good Z is 200. 120 is the marginal utility of the second unit of good Z, and 30 is the marginal utility of the third unit of good Z, and so on. And we divide again by the price to get a ratio of marginal utility to price. Essentially, this number means that when I buy the first unit of good Z, I am receiving 5 marginal utils, or just utils per euro. And so again, if we're looking, should I buy the first unit of good X, good Y, or good Z? Well, you get the same value for money that you do when you buy the first unit of good X compared to the first unit of good Z, but you get lower marginal utilities per euro spent, which is value for money, on the first unit of good Y as compared to the other two. So when we're saying what gives us the best value for money, what maximizes our utility, all that kind of stuff, well, what we're actually saying here is I'm going to buy the first unit of good X or the first unit of good Z. Now, it doesn't matter, but I'm just going to say by the first unit of good X. Now that we're done, do I buy the second unit of good X, the first unit of good Y, or the first unit of good Z? And you buy the first unit of good Z, because 5 is greater than 3, which is greater than 3. Now you've got an option. Do I buy the second unit of good X, the first unit of good Y, or the second unit of good Z? And here what you'll see is they are the same. So the consumer is indifferent between the two. It doesn't matter the order with which he or she buys these goods. He or she will just buy them, buy at least one of them. So I just said like it was good X. It doesn't matter. So you say, okay, now what do I do? Do I buy the third unit of good X, the first unit of good Y, or the second unit of good Z? Well, again, it doesn't matter between these two because they're both 3, and that's higher than 2. So you're saying, okay, I just said he bought the first unit of good Y. So we have to ask ourselves another question, which is, should I buy the third unit of good X, the second unit of good Y, or the second unit of good Z? 3 is higher than 2 and 2, so he buys that one. Now we have to ask ourselves the question, how much have we spent? Well, we spent 2 units on good X. We've bought 2 units of good X, so we spent €20 because it's 10 times 2. €10 here, €10 here is €20. We bought 1 unit of good Y, which is another €20 because 1 times 20 is 20, so that's 40. And we've bought 2 units of good Z, which is another €80 because 2 times 40 is 80. So 40 plus 80 is 120, and that is this consumer's budget spent. So he spent all his money, and he's spending his money in such a way that the ratio of marginal utility to price is the same for all goods consumed, because 3 equals 3 equals 3. Okay, now I'll be a lot quicker in this one. So how much does this guy have to spend? He's got €15 to spend. The price of good A is €1. The price of good B is €3, and the price of good C is €5. These are all the marginal utilities for good A, marginal utilities for good B, and marginal utilities for good C. Just to be clear again, I won't say this for the next question. The marginal utility that you get from the first unit of good A is 20 utils. The marginal utility that he gets, the consumer gets, from the second unit of good A is 15. Again, we see the law of diminishing marginal utility applying for all of these. So please pause the video. Remember, he's got €15 to spend. The prices respectively of A is 1, B is 3, and C is 5. And these are the marginal utilities of each of those goods. Okay, well, hopefully you've had an opportunity to have a go at that question. Now let's look at the answer. Like all of these, what we are saying here is that the consumer will spend their income in such a way where the ratio of marginal utility to price is the same for all goods consumed. So now what we have to ask ourselves is, we've gotten the marginal utilities, divided them by their respective prices, which is here in the second column of the prices, and in the first column in each of these, the marginal utilities. So we say, well, which is he going to choose? He's going to choose the first unit of good A, the first unit of good B, or the first unit of good C. Well, 20 is higher than 12 and 8, so he's going to choose the first unit of good A. Then we have to say, is he going to choose the second unit of good A, the first unit of good B, or the first unit of good C? Well, 15 is higher than 12, which is higher than 8, so he's going to choose this one. Now what we have to ask is, he going to choose the third unit of good A, the first unit of good B, or the first unit of good C? Well, 12 is higher than 11, which is higher than 8, so he's going to choose the first unit of good B. What's he going to choose now? Is it going to be the third unit of good A, the second unit of good B, or the first unit of good C? Well, 11 is higher than 8, which is higher than 8, so he's going to choose the third unit of good A. Now what we're saying here is he going to choose the fourth unit of good A, the second unit of good B, or the fourth unit of good C, or the first unit, of good C? Well, 8 is equal to 8, which is equal to 8, so he is indifferent. Now, I just said he chose the first unit of good C. It does not matter, right, which of those 3 goods he buys, because he's indifferent between them, because they each give him the same value for money, which was 8, 8, and 8. Then we say, okay, is he going to choose the fourth unit of good A, the second unit of good B, or the second unit of good C? Well, 8 is equal to 8, and both of those are higher than 7, so it's between these, between which he is indifferent, so I just said he chose another unit of good B. And then what we're asking ourselves, the same question as always, and I hope you're getting sick of me saying this, is he going to choose the fourth unit of good A, the third unit of good B, or the second unit of good C? Well, 8 is higher than 5, which is higher than 7, and now he has bought the fourth unit of good A. So the question that we have to ask is, well, how much money has he spent? Well, each unit of good A costs €1, and he's bought 4 of them, so he spent €4. Each unit of good B costs €3, and he's bought 2 of them, so he spent €6 there. And each unit of good C costs €5, and he has bought 1 of them, so he has spent €5 there. So when you add up the 4, the 6, and the 5, you get 15, and that's his budget gone. Okay, so he spent all his money, and he spent it in such a way the ratio of marginal utility to price was the same for all goods consumed. Now what we have here is a consumer. The Spanish tourist goes to Ireland for the weekend, and he has €96 to spend. These are the prices. The price of coffee, which is here, is €4. The price of food is €12 each, and the price of attractions is €8 each. These are the relative marginal utilities for those 3 goods. Do me a favor, pause the video, see if you can get an answer, shall we say, and then once you've done that, come press play, and then I'll go through the answer on the screen. Okay, well, hopefully you've had an opportunity to do that, so now I'm going to go through the answer. Okay, so again, like all of this stuff, what we are saying here is that the rational consumer, in order to achieve maximum total utility, will spend their money in such a way that the ratio of marginal utility to price is the same for all goods consumed. I've explained this a number of times, so I'm not going to go through it again now. All I'm going to do is go through the sequence of purchases, the order with which he purchases each of these goods. All right, so is he going to choose, in order to maximize his total utility, is he going to choose the first coffee, the first bit of food, or the first attraction? Well, 12 is higher than 10, which is, again, now equal to 12, so he's indifferent between these two. So I just said he's going to choose the first coffee. Now, is he going to choose the second coffee, the first bit of food, or the first attraction? Well, 12 is higher than 10 and 11, so he's going to choose the first attraction. Obviously, these could have been done in reverse order. It doesn't matter. He's indifferent between them. Then we ask ourselves, is he going to choose the second coffee, the first bit of food, or the second attraction? 11 is equal to 11. They're both higher than 10. So again, the consumer is indifferent between either of these two purchases. I just said he went for the second coffee. Is he going to now choose the third coffee, the first attraction, or the first bit of food, or the second attraction? Well, 11 is higher than 10, which is higher than 10. So now he's going to choose the second attraction. Don't forget, he's got €96 to spend, and it's 4, 12, and 8. Now is he going to choose the third coffee, the first bit of food, or the third attraction? And 10 is equal to 10 is equal to 10. He is indifferent between these purchases. So I just said that he chose the first bit of food. I'm just trying to show you it doesn't matter the order when the ratios are the same. The consumer is seen to be indifferent between these purchases. Okay, is he going to choose the third coffee, the second bit of food, or the third attraction? Well, 10 is equal to 10, which is higher than 9, so he is indifferent between the third attraction and the third coffee. I said he took the third coffee. Doesn't matter whether you said he took the third attraction. It's not important. Okay, he's indifferent between the two, so therefore it won't affect his decisions really. Is he going to have what are we on to now? The fourth coffee, the second bit of food, or the third attraction? Well, 10 is higher than 9 and 9. So now what we're saying is he's going to choose the fourth coffee, the second bit of food, or the fourth attraction. He is indifferent between the 3 of these, so therefore he buys them all. It does not matter the sequence with which you said he bought them. That is irrelevant, okay? He's indifferent between them. Now let's keep an eye on the money here, okay? So 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So he spent €16 on coffee so far, okay? It does sound like Ireland, very expensive. Okay, then the next one is 2 by 12, so that's another 24, and the next is 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's 32. Okay, so what he has spent now is 72, I believe, with my quick maths, and he has €96 to spend. So he has the opportunity to increase his total utility by consuming more because he has not exhausted his budget, his total amount of spending. Therefore, we know that he is rational and seeks maximum utility. Therefore, he will continue to spend until he has spent all his money, as such achieving a higher level of total utility than he could if he did not spend all his money and left some opportunities for increasing his total utility through increased consumption on the table. So, is he going to buy the fifth coffee, the third bit of food or the fifth attraction? Well, again, the consumer's absolutely indifferent between all of these three, so he just buys them all. Now, the order I am saying is he went the fifth, the third, and the fifth, but it doesn't matter because at each stage, 8, 8, and 8 was higher than 7, 7, 7. So he's going to buy those ones, but the order with which he buys those ones does not matter. So is he spending his money in such a way that the ratio of marginal utility to price is the same for all goods consumed, like we're saying here? Well, yes, he is, because 8 equals 8 equals 8. And has he exhausted his budget? Well, he's added another 24 and he's got €96 to spend, so 72 plus 24 is 96 in total, and yes, he has. Now I'm going to leave it there for this video, so I hope that makes sense. I'm going to be doing questions 7 and 8 in the next video.